About a year ago, the whole world watched in horror as Charlie Kirk was assassinated in public by an unknown gunman. It just so happened that a few moments later, this video was released, and it was showing a young man jumping from a rooftop, which was later identified as Tyler Robinson, who is currently on trial. How far should a lawyer go when it comes to presenting his matter and ensuring that justice is done? The first thing to notice is that a lawyer is a minister in the temple of justice, and everything that you say or do would either affect the case positively or negatively. Recently, a judge decided that the prosecution involving the matter where Charlie Kirk was brutally murdered in public last year was violating the court rules. And by the reason of that, the judge began to put measures in place, such as possibly a gag order. A gag order meaning that everybody must be silent and nobody must say anything again. It could also involve fines, essentially meaning that he's going to have to pay some kind of reparation to the court to show that he is sorry for what he did. And I think it's also going to involve writing a letter of apology to the court stating that he is very sorry. Now, the judge refused to call it a criminal offense or a criminal contempt. He called it a civil contempt. A criminal contempt basically is a contempt that is outright to make it clear that the lawyer has no regard for the court. This same also goes for an average person who decides to maybe insult the court or to act in a way that is very, very disrespectful towards the court. And of course, anybody who knows the law knows that the judge and the court are almost one and the same. So when you insult the judge, you've insulted the court. When you insult the court, you've insulted the judge. And that is the way it goes. So this gentleman was held to be liable for speaking to the media concerning the matter, stating that they had sufficient evidence to prove that this man was guilty. Everybody is assumed or presumed to be innocent until proven guilty. So he that alleges must prove. The principles of law states that you must hear the other party. You cannot hear one side to the detriment of the other side, ignoring them and feeling like it's not necessary to hear them. No matter how guilty they look, they must be presumed innocent, because it's better for 9 people to go who are guilty than 1 person to be punished despite being innocent. It's very clear and understandable that the judge decided to take this path, and I sincerely hope that the lawyer is going to correct his ways. Although it is very hard to withdraw those statements from the public space, because the gentleman in question has been presumed to be guilty because of the videos that were released online almost immediately after the assassination took place. So, saying that he will just retract the statement is quite tricky, because the human mind, once it gets an information, it's almost impossible for it to get out, especially when it is an emotional matter like that of Charlie Kirk. One thing that the judges must be very clear about in the course of this kind of matters is to clearly and repeatedly tell the parties in question that they should ensure not to make comments about the ongoing matter. Unfortunately, this is even an ethical issue, because most law schools teach lawyers or intending lawyers that you must be very cautious, you must be very economical with your words when it comes to an ongoing matter, because whatever you say can be misjudged, misunderstood, and can be used to malign people involved in the case. I sincerely believe that some new things are going to come up, and I think my whole concern is that the jurors, the potential jurors for the case, are probably going to be tainted by what has been said by the lawyer. Be that as it may, I believe very much that justice will be done, because clearly the judges are showing that they are not going to allow anybody to react emotionally and speak out of turn concerning an ongoing case. I think this is where I'm going to round up. My name is Simon Akilabi. I'm a lawyer practicing in Nigeria, and I lead Sapio Legal solicitors, mediators, and consultants. If you got any value from this video, kindly like, subscribe, and share. Let me know your comments. Do you think that the lawyer intended to be contemptuous or wanted to just sway the case in favor of the prosecution, or he just did it innocently? Or do you feel as if the judge was too harsh in ruling that he violated the rules of the court? Let me know in the comments.